a nice big sasa. Alright, sharp guys, I'm gonna stop the live now. See you tomorrow.
If you are an Indian, please go back and defend your fellow Indians. If you are a European, go and defend your European. But here, as Africans, we'll defend one another and we'll say Africa is for Africans and we'll defend one another. And Malema is an African and is not only an African, is an African from South Africa. Whether you trying to
but what tribe does he associate himself with? Is he Zulu from the Zulu tribe? Because it is only 9 tribes that we have here. That's all my question. What fighting with the men? I want to know, so I don't also tolerate people
Malema
from saying things that are not true.
Malema is paid. It's from my own clan also. I'm a paid. You will paid. You paid. Because you're calling when I mean. I don't know if you understand that.
No, I think I'm from the Zulu tribe, my brother. Sorry, can you just clarify what you're saying in English?
Zulu tribe from where?
Zulu Kingdom. That would be nice. The Zulu Kingdom.
Yes.
But now
which part of the world are you from? But it's immaterial, guys. It's not important. What we need to focus on. Let's look at this thing, guys, and let's be honest with ourselves. Everyone, how do you say Malema is corrupt? Up until this day, I mean, the EFF has been running for about 10 years. I think Malema has been out of the ANC for more than 11 years. He's not in jail, but he's been called corrupt.
You don't have to go to jail to be clear.
You know, we ran away. We ran away. I understand.
Why did you put her away?
Yes, you ran. I wanted to say. I wanted to ask Newi to say, don't you think that Julius Malema, what he has been facing with, it was just a political hunt and an attempt to character assassinate him and to tarnish his image and to dent his person. So that was my question to her, and she hasn't responded to that. She went to fetch something that doesn't exist. There is no way you can find Julius Malema or Floyd Shivambu in the report of Motaung. Everybody who's mentioned there, he has been arrested, charged, and is appearing in court. So Julius Malema his name has never popped up there. Only Brian Shivambu's name was mentioned there, and the ANC or other people were the companies were mentioned as the companies, but for Brian Shivambu it was mentioned as Brian, it was mentioned as Gamega in inverted commas, Brian Shivambu, and the intention was to actually to tarnish the EFF's image. That's where we are, but she left, and that's bad. But let me bring Kwena. Kwena, you're welcome, my brother. And correct me if at all I'm wrong.
Thanks.
I don't think Brian is facing any charges now because he paid back the money. He paid back the loan that he received.
Yes, remember Brian Shivambu was not involved in any corrupt dealing. That's why Julius Malema has been saying this to this gentleman called Adrian Simpio to say, there was no need. We understood where this matter came about. We understand the intention was to character assassinate and to tarnish the EFF's image. So the young boy was not involved in any corrupt dealings. None. He didn't.
And the only way that we can actually work this out, I won't tell you a lie, is a lie detector test for the man himself. You know, I can defend him because he's my son. You go defend him because he's your grandson. Example, right? Because coming from a psychology background, it's easy to say yes, the man did or didn't. Especially if we have affection for him or we decided the ANC is corrupt, we don't want to be with him. But no one's infallible. Anyone will make a mistake. And it's impossible for him to say that he never enjoyed the family's money. Even when he visited the family and they give him tea, that's the money that was corrupt. You understand? So it's a very sensitive subject to defend the man as if
a lie detector test will not assist us with anything because of, if at all it was according to the lie detector test, I work in a supply chain environment in a mine. I would have actually been behind bars now because of I'm a drug dealer of note. So that thing of lie detector test, they are not for us. Please, you are not assisting us now because now.
But you need to
it means now. No, it means now you're communicating with a kingpin of drugs. So I'm not of the view of that thing will assist us with anything. You have your courts, and let us be honest, even with these courts of ours, you know who is ruling the courts. They could not get Julius on anything. What do you think, or they would give him special treatment, and then every time he will be found, case will be thrown out? Obviously, they want his throat. So let's be honest with ourselves. You hating the man to that extent that you would now want us to go to lie detector test, and then the same people are going to rig the results.
No, but we all have questions. No one hates him, but we all have questions. You know what I mean? So it's just that you want to clarify things. That's why it's good to be on this chat so we can hear both sides and understand the man.
Mostly hates him.
Okay, before, let me bring Kwena. Kwena, you can have your time. After that, it will be Tim. After that, it will be Lot.
Thanks, guys. I personally think if people want to have already made their mind about something, there's nothing you can do to change them. So, I mean, the lady is talking about the names of Julius and Floyd being on the report. I mean, we all know that is a lie. So, they all repeat the same thing over and over again and draw diagrams, listen to Polifan Fake, and then they start to believe that lie because a lot of them stand to lose if the EFF takes over because of the corrupt relationships they have with the ANC. So we must just drum this thing over and over into their heads so that they can understand that we see through them.
But I want to share something. Not all the ANC are corrupt. I've got people in the ANC, you know, they were under Zuma, you understand? And there's people that are under Ramaphosa. The Zuma people, they were during his time that he was the president, they were suffering with tenders. They're not getting tenders at all. So it's not the majority, not all ANC is actually corrupt or they're actually involved in this thing.
And when RJ, you are one of those people who fall for propaganda, you know.
No, I'm talking to them directly, guy. I'm not, don't say something. You know,
no, you said Julius Malema from Zimbabwe and all of that, and that is propaganda.
I asked a question. I want to be clear. That's why I thought he's here to talk for himself, or your guys know. You understand? It's good to ask or to state things that then also get learned. I'm a learner.
RJ, if you're so connected to ANC, you should have known anything about Malema. Because everyone at ANC, they know everything about Malema. They can tell you the secrets about Malema. They also try to even to tell a lie about Malema. So don't come here and lie to us.
They don't even talk about
come here and
it's not something important. I won't lie to you. Maybe on this table, but
no, you lying. We know ANC people. Like we are also connecting to ANC people. We never. For me, I never like ANC, but I know ANC people, and they will tell you a lot about Malema, and they will tell you what lies is coming next about Malema. They want to go and tell to the newspapers. So don't come here and lie and say you are connected to ANC, then you don't know anything about Malema. If you are connected to ANC, you should be knowing about the Malema and who's Malema actually. So don't come here and lie.
But we know about Malema, but it's not important. We're dealing with guys that are calm and they're trying to build themselves up, build others, you know. It's not that guy, Malema.
Right now, ANC has put it Malema, like DA, has put it Malema as important. Whenever they want to tarnish a name, it's about Malema. so that they can get the attention to everyone.
They're tarnishing their own names with the bad service. You know what I mean? It's not like they're looking for him. I know this platform is to praise him and to cover him, protect him, but he needs to stand up for himself. Even when the time when they were the 20th of March, I think he came late. Imagine that. You know these guys that were really freedom fighters like Mandela. He'll be in the morning first one day. These guys that died for us, they were there in the morning early. He's coming in the afternoon, and people are watching.
Who died for you?
And they're looking.
Who died for us?
Oh, the brothers died. The army people died.
It's not the ANC chief.
From the ANC.
I only know Chris Hani.
No.
I only know Chris Hani.
There was hundreds of people that died, brother.
It was not ANC members, chief. I'm an ANC member, I'm telling you. It was South Africans. It's only that the ANC took that thing as if it was them fighting for us. No. It was blokes there in the streets. It was kids. You're talking of 1976. It was not the ANC.
Not only that,
guys, we need to be honest with ourselves. And listen, guys, I'm going to ask you, even those of you here who are in the EFF, the day that the EFF does something wrong, you should speak about it and you should speak to it to say, this is not what we wanted. Let us stop lying to ourselves. We are lying to ourselves because of we come to these platforms. Now I'm an ANC member, I must protect the ANC at all costs as if I'm getting something. And I'm not getting anything. Those people, when they are chowing money there, they are chowing alone there. They are stealing alone. I'm here to protect them. No. And let me tell you about the president that was always early in such things. It was Thabo Mbeki up until this day.
They kill a lot of black people with the HIV story, you know.
It's fine. You are talking about a president that respected time. I'm giving you one. It was Thabo Mbeki.
Yeah.
Even Umsholos, I love Umsholos, but he was. Come again?
My Mbeki was a coconut. He's a coconut.
Yeah, he's that's why him and Chris Hani did not see eye to eye.
I just want to say this. I want to say this. I want to say this to one platform and say, we also as human beings of South Africa, the great citizens of South Africa, we should form a platform where we can hold these politicians and the leaders of this country accountable. Because we don't even know, even the EFF, when they're taking over, we don't know if they will also follow on whatever they promise.
That's why we shouldn't be biased.
But for now, there's no, we can't say EFF are also corrupt while we only know ANC are the only party that has been in control there. So don't come here and say, to influence us and say the politicians are all the same, while you don't even have facts. Like people like RJ, they don't have facts. You're just touching there and there and taking there and there. No,
I put my name on the line. I told you what I done with 100 million rand, what. And I told you
for
straight
ANC,
up to give you...
For ANC.
Yeah, yes.
For ANC, yes,
but
that's why I'm saying. We only know that
line?
ANC is corrupt and ANC can lead South Africa. We know that by now. And we now say we're talking about the EFF. If the EFF
remember when Zuma was doing things, it wasn't so bad as how it is now. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Okay, guys, because we are having a dialogue now. Let me bring in Tim, and after that it will be Lord.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Tim? Tim is nowhere to be found. Lord, you can come in.
Okay. I only jumped in the conversation while you guys were talking. So I'm going to talk about everything that you've been saying. RJ, well, I jumped in as you guys were talking about Malema being Zimbabwean and so forth. So I'd like to clarify something. Yeah. Malema is from Seshego Zone 3 houses away where I used to stay.
Okay.
So I know him at that personal level, but not personally. So I'm an ANC, I'm a card holder of an ANC. So I'm an ANC member, so to speak. You know, in all the presidents that I know, or that I started being clever and know what's happening around my surroundings or around my country, I'd safely say, or I would say, it was the time Jacob Zuma was the president. I think it was active. when Zuma was the president, each and every black person or black entrepreneur, they all had money and they all had jobs.
There we go.
We would work. We would go to guys. I'm an entrepreneur as well. I'd say I benefited. I'm talking about me, solely me. I benefited from Zuma's policies.
That's right.
I benefited from Zuma's policies because supply chain was free for everyone. We would go there. We would interact with buyers. You know, they would, yes,
beautiful times.
Yes, corruption is there, guys. We're not going to say there's no corruption. There's corruption everywhere. You go to private entities, you go to public entities, you go to police stations, anywhere there's corruption.
True.
So can we, I'm just asking, can we not say the entire ANC is corrupt?
Please, yes.
Individuals that are corrupt and that...
I learned that too. I learned you right, brother.
And that do not...
No, let me challenge you right there.
No,
let me challenge you right there. Let me challenge you right there. Let me challenge you right there. Guys,
I'll say it.
Before you come in, Lord, look. In Parliament, the ANC's majority. When the majority vote to say a fire pool is a swimming pool, what do you say? When the majority vote to say no, the president must not be held accountable in terms of the pala, that is showing that actually the rod is the organization itself, because the reality is, guys, okay, let me put this honestly, because it's a very important factor. The ANC as an organization, the water, the center is no longer holding. That's the real. The ANC survives through what we call a brand, and it's not easy to dismantle a brand overnight, but slowly it's going away. The reality is there is, in terms of organization itself, the ANC is on an autopilot, and it has been degenerating and declining time and again. All right, that's the real. That's why when Fikile Mbalula came in, he said, now the center will start to hold. If you can check, since Mbalula came in, there is no interview of any minister or anything wearing ANC regalia being interviewed in the media without the knowledge of Fikile Mbalula's Secretary General, because Fikile Mbalula come from that school of thought. And that actually Julius Malema came from. So at least he is trying now, Fikile Mbalula. But the ANC itself as an organization, my brother, is a disorganized organization. It's not really an organized organization. Okay. And that's the reality. If you want to see it, did you saw the Youth League conference recently? The Youth League, it was a disaster. It was a disaster.
That's Ramaphosa's people.
RJ,
that's why.
Can I finish, guys? I was going there on what you said. Hence I said ANC. It's not ANC. It's a name. It's an abbreviation, guys. We need to remember that.
Yes.
So who's in the ANC? People that are in the ANC are a person just like me and you.
Yes.
You know, so we cannot say the brand. We cannot say the
not
brand.
only. Hey, no. Wait, Lord. Don't lie. No, wait.
Let me
Lord,
finish.
Don't say no.
You said you are a female.
No.
Wait,
no. Can I say this?
Say you are an
No,
ANC
can I?
member?
Lord, I am not.
Are you corrupt?
I am not.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what
I'm saying. I am not an ANC member.
Yes, you are.
I am not an ANC member.
Okay, I am sorry.
I'm not under ANC.
Wait, can I finish, guys? I heard someone saying they're
no, but
member. Wait, let me finish.
It's D.
Wait,
it's D. I was the one to say I'm an ANC member.
D.
Yes.
Are you an ANC member, my brother?
Yes.
Are you corrupt?
Not.
I'm not.
Exactly.
Amen.
That's what I'm trying to say.
There's statistics right here.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
No, but your statement is not, you are not answering. I'm saying when a lot. That which you are saying actually doesn't have a bearing. I'm asking you, in parliament, the ANC is majority. The people who represent you in parliament are majority. They voted to say a fire pool, a swimming pool is a fire pool. Those are your representatives. And now, the very same ANC. Wait.
I was about to answer
majority. Let me tell you about majority and minority. Majority rule.
Yes,
right.
I was about
when
to
the ANC majority, not minority, not you, Lot and D. You are minority. Your voice are irrelevant in the organization because you are in minority. So the majority in the ANC are corrupt individual, and they make the organization corrupt.
Okay,
so when we say the ANC is a corrupt organization,
yes.
we mean majority rule. Majority in the ANC are corrupt as hell. And we need to actually point out, we need to point that out.
Can I talk?
That is why you cannot say no, Lord. You cannot tell me.
The cabinet is corrupt, Chief. The Ramaphosa's cabinet is corrupt. Those gogos there in the ANC that you go and visit in the all is they're not corrupt.
No.
All these young men, they're not corrupt in college.
Lord, please continue. Lord, please continue. RJ has been lying for long.
I was going to say, you said something about a swimming pool, whatever that they said it is. Yeah? Can we look at who's this brother from EFF, the one we were talking about now? Not Julius, the brother of
Brian Shivambu.
Yes, his brother. He unduly benefited, right? Please correct me if I'm wrong. Did he not unduly benefit from VBS?
No. Let me clarify that. For example, if Vele, remember, wait, I want to clarify this point.
No, did he duly benefit from VBS? Yes or no?
No.
No. I want to clarify that. I want to clarify that. Guys.
Yeah, it's a no.
Sharp. Then let me.
No, let me.
No, I want to clarify that.
It's a no.
So that we understand.
I understand.
He didn't benefit.
It's a no, but someone he wants to clarify, and I understand.
I want to clarify.
I just wanted a yes or no. And then
before yes or no, let me clarify this. Brian Shibambu was never involved in any criminal activities there. And then Brian Shibambu through Gamega got contracted with Vele. And the money that Vele got, that the money is the money that come from BBS that came into Vele. So it has been found that actually Vele did not actually found that money that came into Vele did not come in correctly. Therefore, it makes everybody who got that money rotten, right? That is why Brian said, guys, I don't want to get involved, but if you want this money back, I can bring it back. And Brian Shibambu brought the money back and he's free.
Yeah, can you please stop there?
Yes.
Do you have something to say? I need to clarify this.
Yes.
You have something to say? Okay, say. You can go on, my brother.
So I wanted to say, Brian Shibambu said, guys, I don't want my name to be I don't want my name to be involved in this. I never had dealing with VBS. I had dealing with Vele. I'm told that Vele did not do the right things. I'm here. I'm one of those who were under Vele as I came through Skamega. I'm willing to pay the money back. I paid through the liquidators and everything is sorted. And Brian was never involved in corruption. The law enforcement agrees to say, yes, my man, you were never involved in anything, but yes, the money can be paid back and scot-free. And it was done like that. And he's a free man. No corruption there.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Is there anyone who wants to
And that's what Malema is saying even now a lot. Not only that, Malema is saying if any money can be proven that came, if any money can be proven that came into Ratalang from On Point, that is actually rotten, no problem, Ratalang will pay back.
Okay.
Because that is not corruption.
I understand.
That is not corruption.
I understand.
Yes.
I understand.
Yes.
Do you still want me to comment?
I hear you, Igwe. I don't know who's talking. Is it Colin?
It was Colin.
Go ahead, Lord.
You still want me to go?
So
let me try to mute everyone so that you can be clear. Everyone just try to mute everyone so that you can be clear. Yeah, I think you are the only one.
Okay, ne?
Yeah.
In whatever that I'm going to say, if maybe there's something that you are not understanding or feel like you need to interject or there's a question, if maybe you can write it down or put it at the back of your mind so that you ask me again. So, Brian got the money from another company and court said, no, that money, it was money that was stolen. Can you please pay it back? And then he said, no problem. I did not know anything. They sent me the money. I'm willing to send it back because I do not want my name or my brother's name or EFF's name to be tarnished with regards to this money. Then we're going to jump to our President Jacob Zuma. President Jacob Zuma on the Nkandla matter. The Nkandla matter, they built a swimming pool, amphitheater, what. He had no idea of what the project manager did. He even said on national television, please correct me if I'm wrong. He even said on national television, to whatever cost that I need to pay, I do not mind paying. Because you guys and the Constitutional Court say I benefited unduly. So no problem, I will pay it. I think it's the same as Brian's case. There's no crime there. They both admitted and they did not know about the money and they paid the money.
Absolutely.
We cannot falter him on the Nkandla matter because of he had no idea and he paid back the money. And on Brian, we cannot blame Brian. He had no idea. So hence he paid back the money. So can we rub that corruption off of Zuma and find something else that the court said?
No, listen to me. Listen to me with relation to Jacob Zuma. Listen to me where the problem began. The problem was, my friend Lord, was the minister of security cluster said these are the security upgrades, no problem. But how do you explain a swimming pool and said no, this is a fire pool? That's where the problem started. To say actually we've been taken for a ride here. It cannot be that a swimming pool becomes a fire pool all of a sudden.
And who said
that is why. I do not dispute Lord. I do not dispute that. Actually, the public protector was being political at that time. Yes, I do not dispute that.
Was it Zuma or was the project manager at fault?
But Zuma can't be compared to anyone. Zuma stayed with the people. He loved the people. He worked with the people.
His people.
Because he has a right to be with his people. But the petrol price is low. The money value was high. We were doing very well with Zuma, and we embarrassed the poor old man. We are supposed to have respect. Our parents are supposed to teach us manners and respect to old people.
And each and every person in South Africa.
No, not each and every. Can I come in after you? After you, Lord. Can I come in after you?
You know why I'm saying each and every person, eh?
No, I'm saying can I after you?
Yeah, it's fine. I heard you. You said can you please come in after me? You know the reason I'm saying each and every person, eh? I stay here, Ekas. I stay at the hood. I believe we, the young or the guys from the hood or anyone that stays here, Ekas, they let themselves go, or they no longer care about themselves or anything that happens around them. Reason being, they have lost faith in ANC. ANC is my party. And I also say I wish ANC could lose the 2024 national elections so that they go back, sit down and rethink what is it that's best for them. Number one.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. That is a progressive statement, and that is what Khalima Mutante said before. And I really agree with you, my brother. And thank you for being honest. Thank you for being honest.
ANC was not formed to govern, number one. So hence I'm saying I wish ANC could lose 2024 so that they sit down and rethink their strategy. Hence I'm saying it was not formed to govern. It was formed to help people. So now they're not helping.
Liberators.
They're only focusing on governing, and of which it's wrong. Me, as an ANC member, I so wish that they lose so that we go back, sit down and rethink our strategy and go back with a clear mind, young blood, young youth, people that wants to work for the youth, and leave Julius alone and his party. He's doing his own thing. Good luck to Julius and whatever that he's doing. He's doing good. No problem with him. I do not have a problem.
Who will you be voting for to make sure that they lose?
I will never vote for anyone apart from ANC, my friend. I'm an ANC, card-holding member of ANC.
So you wish
but there's a contradiction already there.
You are not serious.
Your wish can come true.
No, when I say I wish they will lose, I mean
No, guys. Remember, Lord, your words. Actually, Khalima Mutante said exactly your words before.
And who is Khalima Mutante going to vote? ANC. It doesn't mean if
EFF. Are you lying? EFF. He's going to vote EFF.
It doesn't mean if Khalima said that. You don't know. It doesn't mean if Khalima said that, he's not going to vote. Thank you, my brother. You understand where I'm coming from. But as an ANC member, I so wish it loses so that we reconcile, talk to the community, and go back to the ANC that we know, that we grew up under, not the one that we have now.
Okay, can I come in?
No, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say this, but I wish someone won't step in. The ANC that you grew up, that you think you know, it's a lie.
Not that I think I know. The one that I know. I don't think I know it. I know.
Yeah, it's a fiction. And I just want to continue to say this. Under Zuma, it's not like every African person was gaining. Actually, some of the Africans, most of them, especially the business people, they lost a lot. I know a lot of criminals.
You're wrong. When it comes to business,
let me finish.
Guys, let him finish. Even if we do not agree, can I come afterwards? Because I have a contradicting view.
Okay. Sorry.
I'm from Mamelodi, and I know a lot of business people. They were losing during Zuma people, where Zuma government, it was protecting a lot of criminals, and I have a lot of criminals which I grew up with, which are my friends, and I know they were gaining, and a lot of them, when you have a conversation, they still like Zuma right now. They still want a lot of Zuma to come in. So we can't say a lot of black people. Even me, I'm a working person. I'm working hard at the government, actually at the private, but I'm not getting a lot of people, a lot of money. And I won't say I've been excelling during Zuma. It's been a struggle even during Zuma. So you can't say a lot of black people, a lot of young people, they were excelling during Zuma people, during Zuma presidency. So it's just a lie, whatever you're talking about. And when it comes to you comparing Zuma, Nkandla, and Brian, it's totally a disgrace to compare the two. It's not the same thing. Brian is like going to a bank and ask for a loan while the Standard Bank has been doing a lot of corruption while you don't know. And when it comes to Zuma, they've been doing the upgrades at their own home. You should be knowing who's doing the upgrades at their own home. And if you are really concerned, you should be doing your own research to say, if this person is doing an upgrade at my own home, where is he getting the money from? So those are the two things that it's a disgrace for you to compare the two. If you are an ANC member, it just make it clear for me right now that you are really an ANC member. You don't have a clue about what's happening at the own party, and you don't have a clear about what finance, where it's coming from, where it's going. It's just know that most of the people at the ANC, they're making a lot of corruption under your own nose, and you think that no, this is a good thing. This is a upliftment of the young people, which is a corruption. And some people behind it, they are really crying. They are really crying about whatever corruption is going at the ANC. And there's a background, see, after all, and most of the people, they're losing their own money because of what is happening by ANC. The whole of ANC, when it comes back to, especially during Zuma and even now with Cyril, there's a lot of people who are losing their own money, they're losing their houses, and they have to turn away their cars because of the corruption that's happening at the ANC. Not at the government, but at the ANC. Because these things have been formed at the ANC.
Can I come in?
Shorty.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right. My brother, I respect what you've just said, but I do not agree with a lot of things. I respect what Lord said. There are some things I agree with, and there's a lot that I do not agree with. Let me start by this one. There was a speaker that started to say, but the ANC is corrupt and all of it. And technically, if at all, when you ask me the question, Lord, that I'm an ANC member in good standing, am I corrupt? And I said no. Technically, you are correct, but I loved what he said because of, you must remember that a fish will rot from the head. And that is where they are thinking. My point is, those who are in power, those who are in high positions, are the ones that are taking the decisions for the movement or the organization. And when they are corrupt, we can as well be classified as corrupt, all of us, because of me and you do not have the power to change anything other than come the time to vote, and we vote for a different party. Secondly, I do not agree with the statement that under Zuma, we were worse. You know why I'm saying that?
We were not
because
worse.
of, yes, I'm saying that because of policies under Zuma were pro-black business.
Thank you.
They were pro-black business. Then, the only thing that happened under Zuma was, because of the ANC so corrupt, certain individuals were using those policies to benefit their criminal friends that the last speaker spoke about. And it is not a phenomenon that is foreign to us because of the only difference now under Cyril is that white arrogance has come in, and the most people that are benefiting now are whites. I'm moving to my third. Come again?
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you may ask.
Yes. Can you please inform us which were those policies which were benefiting mainly or were targeting black people, which were passed under Zuma, and have they been scrapped right now under Cyril? So can you just please explain those policies, because
let me clarify something. It is a reality that actually under Zuma, most institutions and SOEs were led by black people, right? Under Ramaphosa, black people were replaced by white people. You can take from SAA, you can check ESCOM, you can check whatever. But under Zuma, those people were actually, and under Zuma, cadre deployment was actually, an order of the day. So he will appoint you even on the basis that you are loyal to the organization. And unfortunately, he could just deploy you even when, or hire you to lead a particular institution, even when you are not qualified. For example, Hlaudi Mutwening there by the SAPC. I mean, he did not have qualifications, Hlaudi, but Jacob Zuma appointed him We understand. So all we are saying is yes, some black people got, positions, and when Ramaphosa came, that was changed.
Colin,
Can you please,
Guys, I did not finish.
can you please just make an example of a city policy which was passed under Zuma? Can you make an example of a policy which was passed under Zuma that has been scrapped right now, which benefited only black people or which targeted black people? Because now you are not making an example of a policy. You are just saying Zuma was appointing black people, and that's not a policy. Can you please just give an example of a policy?
I can
just
give you an example.
Do you?
You can carry on, Colin. I wanted to give him an example, but you can carry on, Colin.
There's no police.
No, actually, guys, with regard to policies, remember the policy are actually adopted by an organization itself, right? The organization actually adopt policies, and it is the administration that must implement. So Jacob Zuma actually has done. For example, they were progressive.
Guys, let's not go far. Colin, and I was speaking, even though you guys took my opportunity to speak. Free education in our lifetime.
Number one.
Under training. You see, you mentioned. Wait, can I say something?
Sorry.
You see, under training. I like that you mentioned Claudi because of it brought something to my mind. Still remember, Claudi went with a policy to say, I think it was 90% local content, 10% international.
Yes.
You remember?
Yes.
Okay.
They didn't laugh.
For the what?
You know why it did not?
How did it not last? You should answer that question, then you'll understand why it did not last. Please, guys, let me finish. I was making a serious point. You asked me for a policy, we gave you two. Now you can't come and say that it did not last. That's not our problem. The question was there a policy? I gave you two.
If it was a policy, it should have been sustained. But it was not.
So was it not a policy because of it was not sustained?
Let me finish and tell you why it was not sustained.
Guys, you know, we spoke about this thing earlier on.
Yeah.
It does not mean if at all you do not agree with a person, now you must go. What is a fiction? Because of that was policy. The difference between policy and fiction, I mean, is so vast. My point is this. Zuma was not perfect. Seriously. He was not perfect. But during Zuma's era, policies were pro-black. Now come Cyril Ramaphosa. I mean, you yourself, you can see that now South Africa is in the gutters. And people are saying that, no, it's because of what Zuma did before, and now the ripple effects, there's no such thing. There's no such thing.
The policy is
when you finish, can I
FMA.
I'm done because I've been interjected the whole time.
Just wait until D finishes. User, just wait until D finishes, because most of the things is just decisions, not policies. But let him finish.
Okay, my brother. If at all you are saying most of these things are decisions and not policies, can you maybe educate me on why you're saying that? Because of even at ESCOM, you must remember that at ESCOM there was this thing. What was this? These contracts, which were signed during the apartheid era, which Zuma came to say, we need to put on a policy that says that we cannot continue with this 50-year contracts.
Yes.
Now you must tell me, what is it the decision? Because of a contract is a binding agreement, a legally binding agreement. Now, how do you turn around such a legal binding agreement? Or maybe I'm open to be educated, my brother. That's one thing that I can say. Educate me, please.
Okay. And there's a problem here. There's a difference between a policy, a contract, and a decision. A policy is something that stands there forever until it's been amended. A contract is something that will be there until a certain time. So it will be given time, say it is a contract for 5 years. Until 5 years, we can maybe rearrange it or negotiate it. It's something different. And a decision is to say, no, from now on, we'll never have a load shedding. But that one is just a decision. There's no contract until forever.
Okay. What was free education
just a decision someone lifetime made and say and come to you and say
the one of free education? What was
make sure?
Please tell me what was it? Was the decision or what was it?
It was a decision because
it was a political statement. It was a political statement. That's why there was
political statement.
You're talking about
we do not have free education even today.
I thought you were talking about the ESCOM one. So
you know, earlier on, I clarified someone being technically correct, but incorrect at the same time. There's someone in the background that was saying that it was a political statement. That is what you want to get to or to convince yourself of because of it's not happening. But that was a policy. Whether it's happening or not, it was a policy. Whether you like it or not, it was a policy.
Can I say something?
No, it wasn't the policy. That's why this must fall. Why would we have had a fees must fall if there was a policy of free education? Why do we still have?
My man, it's because of there's no implementation. It does not say
even today. Why did Zuma not implement as head of state? Why did he not scrap NSFAS?
Even today.
Do not lie, my brother.
Oh, guys, let me tell you
something. You are making statements that are unfounded, and every time saying people are lying. I'm not someone who's lying. I'm giving you facts. Whether it's implemented, or it's not. What stays is that it is a policy.
You are calling political statements.
It's not a policy. It was a promise. It was a promise.
Zuma was just trying to cut
not a.
Victor, can I tell you something? Can I say something, my brother? Yeah?
Please.
Before Zuma became a deputy president, he was the Minister of Education. Do you know who said do you know who implemented
what did you say? Zuma Minister of
Education.
Do you know? No. That one is not make sure. That one is not make sure.
I'll go and make my own research.
MEC, man.
Minister of Education.
It was the MEC, I think.
Yes, MEC.
I'm not sure. Zuma was the Minister of Education.
Guys, he made a mistake. How?
Wait, who started 5? MEC of Education. Do you know who said
who started 5?
Do you know who said NSFAS?
Minister of Education, who
introduced NSFAS? Do you know who introduced NSFAS?
NSFAS is not free education.
You're not answering me.
You are not answering the question. Do you know who introduced NSFAS?
I know Minister of Education was not Zuma. So who introduced? I don't know.
Yeah,
but I know
Minister. You've answered the question now at least.
Can I answer?
You've answered the question.
Minister of Education was not Zuma. Let's not lie.
Wait.
It's fine. That was not the question.
Before you interject.
I answered the question.
Wait, Chato. You must wait. Chato, you must listen first before you interject. And you must make sure that you listen to understand, not listen to answer. You know, some of us, like Dee said, we are open to education. A mistake that one said, it's a mistake that one can fix, not that they are lying. Zuma was the MEC of education.
Can I answer that one?
Wait.
Zuma was the MEC of education.
Zuma introduced NSFAS. It doesn't matter whether NSFAS it's not free education, but at the end of the day, if you went to VET and studied NSFAS, today you are not paying that NSFAS. You are not paying it.
You are supposed to pay NSFAS.
They know
that's wrong. That's corruption. So that's corruption.
Exactly.
Guys, this has deteriorated. Have a great night.
Chato, you are saying your younger brother that's getting NSFAS. He's corrupt.
If he doesn't pay, after he passes, if he passes and doesn't pay, that's corruption for other generation. So corruption is usual with the ANC.
Wait, so you see, it's free education. You got free education.
No, you're supposed to pay NAFSAs. Let's not lie. NAFSAs you have to pay.
It doesn't matter if he paid or not. At the end of the day, he did not pay. So it means that he got free education.
He's supposed to pay.
Number two.
Tato, you know what, Tato, I'm not sure whether you've just come in now.
No, he just
but
came
you've
in
come
now.
in. Yeah, you just came in now where the debate or the engagement has deteriorated to a point whereby we are all now singing. The problem was never that the ANC is not corrupt.
How?
It was never that. We've agreed a long time ago that this organization is corrupt to a point whereby even Lord said this actually was a liberation movement.
It was not.
It was supposed to liberate us but not lead us into democracy.
Thank you.
So now the problem is, you are coming, you are jumping on a bandwagon of, and we are seeing unnecessarily so.
Okay, can I say something? One thing I loved about Zuma, the Zuma is. One thing I loved about Zuma.
We're not finished talking and you jumping in, we still
allow Tato, please, allow Tato.
One thing I loved about Zuma during Zuma is, it was his geopolitics. It's about him understanding geopolitics. It's about him understanding we must let go of NATO, we must let go of the West and start forming relationships with Russia and China. That's one thing I loved about Zuma. Even the point even though he did it in his last years, let's not pretend he first started by doing it. He did it in his last years. Black people must start being in managerial positions. Like he was promoting. Yes, sometimes it was caterers, but even normal black businessmen, entrepreneurs, were pushed forward more. That's one thing I loved about Zuma.
Tato, can I say something?
We agree with you, Tato.
Yes. D, can I say something?
He was reshuffling his cabinet every month.
Please, guys, correct me if I'm wrong. Can I say something? The president has 10 years. Yeah? First 5 years, it's the plan. The second 5 years, it's implementation. So that's why, Tato, you said he only did what he did at the end of his
but he implements policies of the ANC. The ANC was there from 1994. Let's not play each other with they're changing now.
I just want to clarify something. I just want to clarify something, guys. It's very much important, guys. Guys, wait. I just want to clarify something. Let us not celebrate mediocre, because the same Jacob Zuma. Actually, somebody I had talking about NSFAS and what have you. You know, this NSFAS thing that Jacob Zuma signed into law, student loan, actually it was through Fees Must Fall protest led by young people, in the main the economic freedom fighters, the EFF itself, because majority of those students who actually led Fees Must Fall in the EFF as we speak. And another thing, Zuma rejected when the EFF said we give you 6% unconditionally, let's take the land. He said no. So all I'm saying is we can talk about all the progressive policies that the ANC actually believes in, but Jacob Zuma did not entertain them. But when he was about to lose power, he then appeared as somebody who was pro-radical economic transformation. But he had all the powers to actually change everything. Even though he did not have two-thirds majority, the EFF was willing to give him two-thirds majority to actually change the direction within which this country it is in. All I'm saying is Jacob Zuma, and somebody said Jacob Zuma was a minister of education. That is a pure lie. He was never even an MEC of education. He was an MEC in the KZN, but that was for economic affairs, not education. So we need to be clear and not mislead one another when we actually engage, because we need to point out where somebody's misleading and we bring them to light. That's where we are a lot.
Colin, can I come in?
Collins,
I'm just going to make a short statement, guys.
To all the Africans, especially South Africans, when it comes to Jacob Zuma, when it came to state capture, it was only Indians and white people they were getting a lot of money. Only few of you they were getting peanuts, nicknames were 50 cents. Then you will come say we're getting a lot of people. When it just check when it comes to state capture under Jacob Zuma, there were a lot of Indians, even white people, they were getting a lot of millions and millions. And you as African people, we are getting even less than what we were getting, we were supposed to be getting. And people will come in say a lot of people, they were millionaires and what. We are getting just a bit of change, what we were supposed to be getting. Just check what Watson was getting. Even Watson now can afford to live a lie and hide himself because of the millions that he's getting under Zuma. He was getting under Zuma. Now Watson is living in this country and everyone thinks that he's dead. But the millions that he's been getting all over during Zuma period. But the people who will come here and try to defend Zuma. Zuma and Cyril, there's nothing different. It's just Cyril now is more corrupt than Zuma, but it's the same thing, guys. Don't try to protect the people. Those two people are the rotten potatoes. Just the other one is rotten more than the other one, but both of them they are rotten. We can't eat them. They will make our stomach to run. We'll be running to the toilet now and then. We can't even go and of them. So right now, please wake up. And don't say ANC was better. ANC hijacked the liberation of black people, where Chris Hani was fighting for black people and say we should be liberated financially. And they killed him in front of the ANC. And ANC did nothing about it. Instead, they arrested one person and they didn't question him who sent him to kill Chris Hani. So from right on, don't talk about ANC and liberation of black people. ANC did nothing right now. We need an alternative, and right now it's EFF. And we're not saying EFF will do better in the future, but for right now it's the alternative. And we, as young people, we should be forming ourselves together and say we need something alternative, and we should be having a movement to say if EFF is also doing what the ANC is doing, what's the way forward? But don't come here and tell us about the ANC. ANC has failed us. Yes,
I don't understand. You know, I'm sorry to interject because I'll be the first one to complain when someone interjects. But I don't understand where you're coming from with this, because of you are talking as if we've started this debate that we are saying that the ANC is better than the EFF or what. You are grappling at a lot of straws. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Let me interject. Let me interject.
But do it in a respectful way. You can't just be going, I mean, come on now.
No, you interjected me. But now what you're saying is not what I was saying. You saying me, I'm saying it's now ANC against the EFF. I'm saying to you, we can't compare Cyril and Zuma and say Cyril is better than Zuma or Zuma is better than Cyril. But when you check with the history of ANC, everyone has been bad. You see, everyone that comes after the other one is bad than the other one. So for me, I can't compare the two between the ANC. That's why I'm saying right now, the only alternative I see is the EFF. And I'm not comparing the EFF with ANC because those two are uncomparable because we never tested the EFF. And that's why I'm saying to you, you can't come to me and say, I'm comparing the EFF with the ANC. I never compared EFF with ANC because they're uncomparable. We can't compare the two. They've never been to power. EFF never to be power, so we can't compare them with the ANC. So don't come and say, I'm saying now we've been fighting the EFF with the ANC. What right now, most people now is like they're comparing Cyril with Zuma and say maybe with Zuma it was better. For me, I'm saying with Zuma it was bad during his time and with Cyril is bad during his time. But if we can compare, we say Cyril is bad than the Zuma time. But we can compare the two because the two have advanced between the two. But even Zuma during his time, it was only the Indians and white people that were benefiting more. Only black people, those who think they were millionaires, but white people and those Indians, they were being billionaires during those times. So black people, they will be eating from the ground. Those millionaires, it was a scrappy day of the tenders. That's the millionaires. But the black, when it comes to white people and the Indians, they were just sitting in the office and they will be getting billions by doing nothing. So we can say...
I want to make a point. I want to make a point of that. You are knowing of the Guptas on the basis that the Guptas were the most focused company during what they called state capture. And their state capture was so limited to what the Guptas were doing in those mines and even at Eskom and those companies. But do you know during the period of Zuma, which I'm not going to defend because I agree with you, you know, you were spot on to say it was bad during Zuma's times and now it's worse. So by trying to compare the two, we are comparing mediocrity. I agree with you to a certain extent because of as much as it was bad during Zuma's time, there were good times or there were good aspects of his leadership. Whether it came at a later stage when he saw that he was going to now move out of being the president, whether it's because of that or not, I do not know. But there were elements of good. The point that I'm trying to make is that there were a lot of black people, a lot of them, in different provinces that became millionaires. Some of them, they became millionaires because of out of criminal activities through government tenders and things like that. And some of them were true entrepreneurs. You understand? So on that one, I would like to say to you, you have focused only on the Guptas, but you do not know in other provinces, in other companies, how black people became millionaires. So you should never say that it was only the whites. I understand that most of the time the whites are the ones that will flourish on the basis of, you must also remember, as much as the ANC is in power, look at procurement, look at CFOs, look at financial departments and check who are heading those departments. Most of the time it's whites, especially in private companies, in mines, in check like Excom as well, check like SAA. Most of the time you get that in strategic position you are getting white people. So it is inherent that white people are going to be millionaires, but it's fine. I'm not going to fight you on that one. You made another point to say the EFF might be the future, and I agree with you. That's why earlier on when Niwe was here, I was defending Julius, but I'm not an EFF member. I was defending Julius because of mine here in this platform is not to defend individuals based on who I'm supporting or as whose member am I, which organization am I a member of. No, mine is to say we are here on this platform. We are talking truth to each other, and we want to see us move forward. So mine is, even though again we are not going to compare, I understand maybe it's mediocrity, but even though we are not going to compare Zuma and Cyril, it means the day another party takes government, we won't be able to compare to say, you are better than these ones on the basis of 1, 2, 3. Like it or not, we need to even compare the apartheid era to our democratic era, where we are saying that democracy is better on the basis of 1, 2, 3, and we say apartheid, this and this happened, but now this and this happened. So as much as the bar is low, we can't say that the bar is not there. Thank you, my brother.
And as much as I will say, yes, but I will say, as much as things were degenerating under Zuma, but they are worse now than they were during Zuma administration. That is a fact. If you look at the load shedding, it was worsened now than it was under Zuma. So there are many things that have worsened even though we may not say Jacob Zuma did well in this and this, we understand that some of the things he has to be pushed. Like I've cited an example of his must fall protest, but it's one of those the legacy. By so far, we will be able to make comparison as to who has done better than who. The reality is, if you can check Zuma and Ramaphosa, the reality is Zuma he has done better than Cyril, but it doesn't mean things were good. We just need to get rid of this organization called the ANC so that it can go and do self-introspection and self-reflection, and then bring in a new fresh blood into the game and ensure that we make meaningful and decisive change so that we can move in that direction. But before you come in, let me bring in RJS. You can unmute or Steve Ovo.
Hello, brother.
Good man.
Yes, brother. Brother, I'm Steve Ovo. I'm from Eastern Cape.
Yes, sir.
At Krizanis village, Stoffelbam. Yeah, so because of this thing of I'm listening here. Because of this thing of this ANC, it doesn't do nothing, my man. Doesn't do nothing. If you can see the place that Krizan is coming from, but they claim that Krizan is the best one in the politics. Yeah. But they didn't recognize him very well. Serious. And now I'm with EFF now, 100%. I'm with EFF now, 100%. I'm following EFF. I'm an EFF member. I'm registered to vote for EFF. I'm ready to vote. I can't wait for this 2024 comes, these elections, to see what the EFF will be.
Thank you, Steve.
That's the thing that I want. Because I don't want to argue with the things that they passed. I want to the things that are coming next now.
We thank you, Steve Ovo. Everyone
because
is entitled.
You know, my brother, you know what is the important thing you supposed to know is there is a bad things, there's a good things, and then we can't throw all of the things away because of in the ANC we learn another things, and then we will go with it. Sorry with the interruption. We will go with it during our way. We will use it during our way. But now we want to, me as myself, I want to rate ANC anymore. I recognize EFF. Julius Malema supposed to be our president next year. State going forward. We want our land. These people they play with us long. We want our land. Our land is banded. Don't you see the people? What did they say? They see. They stay in the locations. They didn't see outside. What is South Africa is too broad. It's too broad, South Africa. These guys, they are abandoned with huge land, huge. You know everything, but they take that thing away. We will depend to ShopRite to check us.
And you're right, Steve Ovo. We really do you know that actually, Steve Ovo, in the whole entire Africa, actually, yes, South Africans are the ones who are actually dispossessed of their land completely. Like as much as there is poverty in many states in Africa, but because of their land, most of them own the land. They are able to feed themselves, but they don't have the infrastructure that we have in South Africa. That is why South Africa is often confused or being compared to, say, no, this is America of Africa, putting it in the right map. But the reality is, we as South Africans do not own the land. And our African brothers and sisters, they own the land and they are able to feed themselves. Unfortunately, where it becomes so difficult is the mineral resources of Africa are actually being extracted or being milked by this imperialist and colonialist. So that's where our problem is. The day we unite as Africans, that is the day we're going to actually experience a total liberation. As South Africans, we are actually, more oppressed than everybody in Africa.
So, Collins, in everything that...
Stivovo, mute yourself, Damon. Come on.
Stivovo. Mute.
Okay, sorry.
Colin, in everything that everyone said, we need to remember one thing. Everyone is entitled or has a right to their own opinion. So if I liked what the presidency did for me, it worked for me. If it did not work for you, it's okay. It did not work for you. No one is disputing that. Maybe you, Collins, I'm just saying, I'm not saying maybe you're going to...
It's not an entitlement. If it didn't work for me, it's not an entitlement.
Victor, let me finish. When you talk, we do not interject. We listen and we leave you to finish and then we come after. So, Colin, as I was saying, we cannot say or force anyone to go and vote for ANC. No, that we cannot do. Stivovo was an ANC, or he believed in ANC, same as every one of us. So now we have, now we want to change, or some want to change, or like Stivovo, they've changed to go to EFF. Hence, I said earlier on, my biggest wish is for ANC to lose the 2024 national elections, because they were not formed to govern. I so wish they lose. But that doesn't mean I no longer support ANC. I'm an ANC member and I will support it through thick and thin.